The Association of Southeast Asian Nations was formally established on 8 August 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand, when the foreign ministers of Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand signed the Bangkok Declarations. This foundational document created a regional association aimed at promoting cooperation across economic, social, cultural, technical, and educational fields, and to foster regional peace and stability through respect for justice and the rule of law. The idea for Asians arose from the political tensions of the time and the recognition that independent countries in Southeast Asia would greatly benefit from mutual cooperation. Over the subsequent decades, Asians expanded its memberships to include Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia. To formalize its structure and grant it legal standing, the Asean Charter was signed on 20 November 2007 and entered into force in December 2008. This charter gave Asians legal personality under international law, transforming it into a rules-based intergovernmental organization with greater accountability. The Charter's core principles emphasize respect for the sovereignty and equality of member states, non-interference in internal affairs, peaceful dispute resolutions, and maintaining unity in diversity, all while working to strengthen political, economic, and social-cultural cooperation for sustainable development and regional security.
The first reason why we need the ASEAN Charter is to ensure the protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms across the region. Before the Charter was introduced, ASEAN worked in a very informal way. There were no clear rules or strong communication to safeguard human rights. Because of that, every country handled human rights issues differently, and there was no standard framework to guide the region. With the ASEAN Charter, this changed. The Charter clearly states that all member states must respect human rights, uphold fundamental freedoms, and promote social justice. It provides a legal foundation that makes this principle part of ASEAN's core values, not just options goals. The Charter also led to the establishment of ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights. This body helps coordinate regional efforts, encourage cooperation, and create platforms for dialogue on human rights issues. In general, the ASEAN Charter is needed because it strengthens ASEAN's commitment to protecting the rights of its people, create consistency across member states, and supports a more peaceful, stable, and inclusive regions.
The second main reason we need the ASEAN Charter is to ensure accountability and good governance. So, what does accountability mean? It means every ASEAN country must take responsibility for its action. The Charter makes sure all countries follow clear rules based on transparency, democracy, and the rule of law. To ensure accountability, the Charter encourages member countries to respect different cultures, language, and religions. It also promotes open government and gives the public the right to access information and join in decision-making. For example, in Malaysia, the government set up an agency called Pemandu to monitor and improve how ministry works. This made the government more responsible and effective. Another example is the conflict between Cambodia and Thailand in July 2025. When fighting started, ASEAN stepped in to help. Malaysia, as ASEAN chair, organized peace talks in Kuala Lumpur with support from the US and China. This helped stop the fighting and show ASEAN role in promoting peace and accountability. Now, good governance means fair and effective leadership. According to Article 1.7 and 2 Clause H of the ASEAN Charter, ASEAN aims to promote democracy, good governance, and the rule of law. This helped create fair growth and strong cooperation among members. For instance, the ASEAN Economic Community Blueprint 2025 highlights transparency and good regulation as key to sustainable growth. Another example is cyclone Najis in Myanmar in 2008. ASEAN urged Myanmar to allow international aid workers into disaster areas, showing its strong commitment to good governance and helping others. Through this action, the ASEAN Charter ensures every country stays responsible, transparent, and united in building a better future together.
The third factor is enhancing regional cooperation and integration. The Asean Charter is responsible for integrating regional principles that act as a framework to align common laws and norms among member states. As soft law, it is flexible and non-binding, which can encourage joint initiative while promoting mutual consultation and collective responsibility. This charter can also strengthen Asian centrality through the Asian outlook on the Indo-Pacific. Asean remains the main leader in the region that engaging major powers like China, Japan, and the US. It supports open, inclusive, and low-paced cooperation in areas such as maritime security, connectivity, and economic integration. Not only that, the Asian Charter can enhancing regional influence. In 2025, Malaysia hosts Asian Community Vision 2045 to advance regional peace and prosperity under the theme Inclusivity and Sustainability. Asian expand cooperation through the inaugural Asian Gulf Cooperation Council GCC plus China Summit that can strengthening economic ties and support for open, rule-based trade.
Next, we will be discussing on the fourth factor, which is strengthening legal and institutional framework. The ASEAN Charter formalizes ASEAN as a legal entity. Before the Charter, ASEAN was only an informal political partnership without legal status. It could not sign binding agreements as a single organization, and it did not have the authority to represent the region in international negotiation. By giving ASEAN a recognized legal personality, the Charter allows the organization to act on behalf of all 10 member states. This means ASEAN can now sign treaties, build stronger partnership, and represent Southeast Asia with a unified and credible voice on the global stage. The Charter also establishes a rule-based framework for ASEAN. In the past, ASEAN operated mostly on informal norms, such as the ASEAN way of consensus, flexibility, and non-interference. While this approach helped maintain harmony, it also causes inconsistency and slow decision-making. With the Charter, ASEAN now has a clear rules, obligation, and structured mechanism for resolving disputes. This rule-based system strengthens accountability among all members of ASEAN states, promotes transparency in cooperation, and ensures that ASEAN decisions are more predictable and consistent. It moves ASEAN from a loose partnership into a more organized regional institute. Finally, the Charter provides clear rule and decision-making procedures. Previously, many ASEAN bodies are overlapping responsibilities, and coordination was often unclear. The Charter solved this by specifying the duties institutions such as the ASEAN Summit, the ASEAN Coordinating Council, and the ASEAN Secretariats. It also formalizes how decisions are made, mainly through the consensus with flexibility when necessary. This clarity reduces confusion, improves efficiency, and ensures that ASEAN policies are implemented more effectively.
The ASEAN Charter has significantly strengthened ASEAN's political and diplomatic landscape. Firstly, the Charter transforms ASEAN from a loosely organized association into a rule-based and legally recognized organizations. This gives ASEAN clearer structure, stronger credibility, and a more unified voice in global affairs. Secondly, it enhances political cooperation among member states. The Charter formulates mechanisms such as regular summits, ministerial meetings, and community councils, ensuring that member states engage in consistent dialogue and coordinated decision-making. Thirdly, the Charter reinforces the principles of democracy, good governance, and the rule of law. By committing all member states to these values, ASEAN promotes political stability and encourages responsible leadership across the region. Another major impact is the strengthening of ASEAN's role in regional diplomacy. With the Charter, ASEAN is better positioned to act as a central platform dialogue with major powers such as China, the United States, Japan, and the European Union. This enhances ASEAN's influence in regional security, trade negotiations, and multilateral cooperations. Lastly, the Charter supports conflict prevention and peaceful dispute resolution. It encourages member states to resolve issues through consultation, dialogue, and non-violent methods, helping maintain peace and stability in Southeast Asia.
The second impact of the ASEAN Charter is on economic integration and development. So, what is economic integration? It means countries in the same region work together to make their economic policy and rules similar. This allows goods, services, investment and workers to move more easily across borders. When this happens, the region becomes stronger and more connected. Now, economic development focuses on improving people's life by creating better jobs, high incomes, and a better quality of life. Economic integration supports this by bringing growth, reform, and new investment to the region. The ASEAN Charter helps both integration and development by encouraging member countries to reduce trade barriers and make it easier to do business. It also helps align rules and attract more foreign investors, which strengthens ASEAN overall economy. Through the ASEAN Economic Community, ASEAN works to build a single market and production base. This means goods and services can move freely, almost like within one big country. The ASEAN Economic Community also aims to increase competitiveness, promote fair growth, and connect ASEAN more closely to the global economy. Because of this, many countries improve their law, support innovation, and train workers with better skills. It also creates more job opportunities across the region. For example, the ASEAN Free Trade Area reduced tax on trade goods among member countries. Other agreements like the ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership expand trade and investment in ASEAN. For economic development, we can look at Vietnam. After joining these trade agreements, Vietnam's economy grew quickly, more jobs were created, and people's living standards improved.
The third impact is social and cultural cooperation. The Asian Charter can enhancing education and skilled workforce by implementing the Asian University Network. It can promote regional educational cooperation that allowing students and academics to move freely and exchange knowledge across Southeast Asia. It provides programs to develop skilled and knowledgeable human capital that can improve the quality of higher education to global standards. Not only that, this charter can also strengthen regional health security through the Asian Post-2015 Health Development Agenda. This can promote healthy lifestyles to prevent non-communicable disease that can help in building sustainable health system across the region. For example, the Asian Charter for Public Health Emergencies and Emerging Disease in Jakarta was established to serve as Asia's main reference and coordination center during the COVID-19 pandemic. It is responsible for coordinating responses to health crises and emerging infectious disease.
Next, we'll discuss on the final impact of ASEAN Charter, which is more credible, organized, and accountable ASEAN. First, by formalizing ASEAN as a legal entity, the Charter greatly strengthens ASEAN international recognition and credibility. With an official legal personality, ASEAN can now sign binding regional and global agreements as a unified organization. This also enhances ASEAN's ability to negotiate collectively as one regional bloc rather than as individual countries, which significantly increased its bargaining power. As a result, ASEAN holds a stronger presence in global diplomacy and multilateral organization, allowing the region to influence international policy more effectively. Second, the Charter has a major impact by providing a clear role and decision-making procedures for ASEAN institutions. This clarity improves coordination and efficiency across all ASEAN bodies, ensuring that each institution knows exactly what responsibility it holds. By preventing overlapping roles, the Charter reduces administrative confusion and creates a more organized system of governance. With better defined procedures, regional initiatives and policies can be implemented more smoothly and consistently. Most importantly, this structured approach allows ASEAN to respond more quickly and effectively to regional challenges, whether they involve economic issues, security concerns, or humanitarian needs.
We've come to the conclusions. The Asian Charter transforms Asians from an informal organization to a rules-based and legally recognized entity. Through the Charter, Asians has strengthened its political unity, improved its decision-making process, and enhanced its credibility on the global stage. Economically, the Charter has promoted deeper regional integrations, fostering trade, investment, and connectivity among member states. Socially and culturally, it has fostered cooperation through initiatives such as the Asian Universities Network, which supports education, health, and shared values. Overall, the Asian Charter serves as the foundations for a more united, responsible, and dynamic Asians that not only benefit its members, but also plays a stronger role in maintaining peace, stability, and prosperity in the regions and beyond. Not to forget, Asians must continue to address challenges in implementations, particularly reconciling the principle of non-interference with goals such as protecting human rights and ensuring accountability.